Well, good morning, everyone. I really hope that you're well. It seems a very, very unusual assembly today. It's unusual anyway for me to be sat in front of my iPhone, but today I can hear Mr. Tumble in my right ear. My own eldest son, Shay, is sat opposite me and I'm in my kitchen. This seems very bizarre, but there's no reason not to do an assembly, and there's certainly no reason not to do the signing like normal. So, with me, children, please. Good morning, Liskeard Hillfort. Good morning, everyone. Well, as I say, I really hope that you're well. I hope that you're looking after yourselves. I've got lots of notes for this assembly today and a little bit of a book to read you. And that's because there's so many good things going on. And last time I spoke to you, we were before Easter. And Easter's a really important celebration, isn't it? Especially for those of the Christian faith. Christians believe really two things around Easter. Firstly, that Jesus was reborn. And secondly, that Jesus had come in from 40 days in the desert being tempted, and that's the end of Lent. And often we celebrate Lent with, yes, you've guessed it, Easter eggs. So my boys are still eating their way through. Well, this one's Shay's, his Easter bunny mini eggs. This one's a half finished one from Wolfie, and I'm afraid to tell you, this one's Mrs. Cook's, and we're a bit concerned because Mrs. Cook, she's not eaten any of the egg, but some of it seems to have gone. I wonder where that can have gone. Who knows? Shame, don't tell. I think she's guessed anyway. Anyhow, I hope that you're working hard at home. We're back to it. We're putting all of the normal website material up on the website, so there's lots for you to be getting on with. I certainly know from the children in at school, the 20 or so that have been in, they've been doing tremendously well, working really hard. It's been, for those children, slightly bizarre, but a really nice time. Well done, you guys. And I've seen some feedback. We're up to, I think it was 77,000 hits on our website. And Mr. McGurr, I think we're going to have to find him an agent because his writing competition and his reading, I could listen to it for hours. Certainly much better than mine. And I've got a long list of shout-outs here. So it's Friday, so it normally would be a celebration assembly, wouldn't it? So, deep breath. There's a whole bunch of people who have done really, really well. And for Times Table Rockstars, Corey, Kayla, Shelby and Poppy, big virtual high five, high 10 for you guys. Well done, really well done. For School Jam, lower down the school, but maths again. Joshua in Miss Early's class, good boy. Maddie, in Miss Hoffman's, and I think you were rocking it for the whole school, Maddie, not just Miss Hoffman's. Amelia and Kiki from year 1, and Ella Marie and Spencer from year 2. So for all of you guys, I imagine an extra little bit of Easter egg or something this weekend. Who knows? So well done to you guys. And I had a meeting with all of the teachers today. We had to do it online using Microsoft Teams. Really exciting, kind of listening to 40 people at once. Bit bizarre, but we got there. And they've emailed through kind of their stars of the week. I haven't got everyone's through yet, so I'll probably put some more up next week. But basically the reason is pretty much the same throughout. Children sending in work, really trying hard, really working hard, giving it their best shot. Miss Colwell has gone for Billy. Ms. Pomeroy has gone for Jacob. Well done, Jacob. Mrs. Kirk has gone for Bella Lee. Miss Morrison has gone for Evan. Mrs. Last, Mrs. Last, that's unfortunate. Mr. Last, I think he's been a bit cheeky here. That's what's made me make the mistake. He's gone for Molly, Amelia and Elodie. He's gone for 3. Wait till I catch up with him. Mrs. Tandy has gone for Evelyn. Miss Hoffman has gone for Harriet. Family tie up there. Miss Fox has gone for Maisie. Mrs. Early has gone for Jack. Miss Best has gone for Harry. I know there's a couple of teachers not featured there. Mr. Larkham, Mr. McGurr, for example. I'll give those teachers a chase and we'll come back to you on that. But there's another collection of names where children have been doing really, really well. So, I am going to try to match Mr. McGurr. One of my favourite books is... whether you can see that, yeah, I think you can. Roald Dahl, great author, wonderful author. The illustrator, don't know if you can see right at the bottom, is Quentin Blake. That really unmistakable style of illustration. And one of his favourite, one of the best sellers, one of my favourites is Boy, Tales of Childhood. So I'm going to read you one chapter because I think that reading is really important, and especially at this time, it can fill up hours and you can lose yourself in a book and imagine yourself pretty much anywhere. And I'm going to put the next 2 chapters online in separate videos, otherwise it takes forever to upload. And this is some of his most famous chapters. This one starts on page 35. It's called The Great Mouse Plot. It's got a picture of a mouse. Doesn't look very healthy mouse, does it? My 4 friends and I had come across a loose floorboard at the back of the classroom. And when we prized it open with the blade of a pocket knife... Shane, can you get me a knife, actually? He has his uses. We discovered a big hollow space underneath. Good boy. That's can you see? Getting a knife and prizing something open. It takes a lot of effort to prize something open. This, we decided, would be our secret hiding place for sweets and other small treasures such as conkers and monkey nuts and bird eggs. Every afternoon when the last lesson was over, the 5 of us would wait until the classroom had emptied. Then we would lift up the floorboards and examine our secret hoard, perhaps adding to it, perhaps taking something away. One day, when we lifted it up, we found a dead mouse lying among our treasures. It was an exciting discovery. Thwaites took it out by its tail and waved it in front of our faces. "What shall we do with it?" he cried. "It stinks," somebody shouted. "Throw it out the window, quick." "Oh, darn a tick," I said. "Don't throw it away." Thwaites hesitated. They all looked at me. When writing about oneself, one must strive to be truthful. Truth is more important than modesty. Modesty is not telling people how amazing you are. I must tell you, therefore, that it was I, and I alone, who had the idea for the great and daring mouse plot. We all have our moments of brilliance and of glory. This was mine. "Why don't we," I said, "slip it into one of Mrs. Pratchett's jars of sweets? Then, when she puts her dirty hand in to grab a handful, she'll grab a stinky, dead mouse instead." Mrs. Pratchett owned a sweet shop, you see. The other 4 stared at me in wonder. Then, as the sheer genius of the plot began to sink in, they all started grinning. They slapped me on the back. They all started cheering and dancing round the classroom. "We'll do it today," they cried. "We'll do it on the way home. You had the idea," they said to me, "so you can be the one to put the mouse in the jar." Thwaites handed me the mouse. I put it into my trouser pocket. Then the 5 of us left the shop, crossed the village green and headed for the sweet shop. We were tremendously jazzed up. We felt like a gang of desperados, desperate people, setting out to rob a train or blow up the sheriff's office. "Make sure you put it into a jar which is used often," somebody said. "I'm putting it in Gobstoppers," I said. "The Gobstopper jar is never behind the counter." "I've got a penny," Thwaites said. So I'll ask for one sherbet sucker and one bootlace. And when she turns away to get them, you slip the mouse in quickly with the gobstoppers. I wonder if any of you have had a gobstopper, a really large sweet that you have to keep sucking for hours. Not good for your teeth. Thus, everything was arranged. We were strutting a little as we entered the shop. We were the victors, the winners now, and Mrs. Pratchett was the victim. She stood behind the counter and her small piggy eyes watched us suspiciously as we came forward. "One sherbet sucker, please," Thwaite said to her, holding out his penny. I kept to the rear of the group, and when I saw Mrs. Pratchett turn her head away for a couple of seconds to fish a sherbet sucker out of the box, I lifted the heavy lid of the gobstopper jar and dropped the mouse in. Then I replaced the lid as silently as possible. My heart was thumping like mad, and my hands had gone all sweaty. "And one bootlace, please," I heard Thwaite saying. When I turned around, I saw Mrs. Pratchett holding out the bootlace in her filthy fingers. "I don't want the whole lot of you trooping in here. If only one of you is buying," she screamed at us. "Now beat it! Go on, go on!" As soon as we were outside, we broke into a run. "Did you do it?" they shouted at me. "Of course I did," I said. "Well done you," they cried. "What a super show." I felt like a hero. I was a hero. It was marvellous to be so popular. Now, if you want to find out what happens in the next two chapters, the next chapter is called Mr. Coombs and then Mrs. Pratchett's Revenge, you'll have to pick up the next YouTube clip, which we'll send out. So, coming towards the end of our assembly now. You've got a couple of treats coming your way. The staff are, the teachers, all of the adults, they're putting together a little musical extravaganza. And keep your eye on the school. If you ever happen to be passing it, you'll see something of a special rainbow coming up outside it, but maybe photos of that next week. You look after yourselves. Be good boys and girls for mums and dads and grandparents and carers. Grandparents and carers and mums and dads, be good for little children. And one way or the other, we will see you in the week. Look after yourselves. Bye now.